Excuse me. Hi, I'm so curious about what's happening out here.
Hi, I'm so curious. I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions. What's going on? I'm not judging you. I want to know. I'm completely neutral.
We're looking down and we see this statement being made. We're curious about it. We're also just worried about the harm being done to passersby.
What is the harm?
So there are
people who went home because it was so triggering and activating.
This is so evil.
This
is so evil. They've so improved on the "you're gonna burn in hell after you die" argument. You want to get into it?
Let's get into it.
Well, I gotta fucking. What's going on with my?
I've never seen this video.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people want us to watch it. Supposedly it's Pete.
Peter Boghossian.
Of the Sokol hoax
Right.
fame. Yes.
And I think Reed Nicewonder, friend of the show, is actually working with Pete to produce this stuff.
Oh, that's based.
Yeah. They were going around. He said they were going around to colleges to do this reverse Q&A thing, where the audience, instead of asking him questions, he asks the audience questions, which is kind of interesting.
That is a Reed Nicewonder special.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Street Epistemology's Reed's passion. So, yeah, no, fun stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's great. I'm glad Reed's working with him. I always liked Reed.
I wish I could figure out what the fuck was... Oh, no.
Are you ready? Can I press what's going on? Can I press the button?
I think so.
All the way over there. Just one line. Just one line.
I guess if they told me how many genders specifically there were, I can't think of anything that would change my opinion, I guess. But if you got some friends,
Oh, you're giving me the finger? Hi.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. The way he says that is so funny.
Hey.
Look at that.
Oh,
This is like random people on top of a roof of a building just shouting
I think
down.
He's at Portland State University, though. So this is to be expected. What did he expect? He knew when he went there that he was going to get this reaction.
Yes. There's some, I don't remember what it was. There's some funny movie or cartoon or something where it's from I think it's one of the Kung Fu Panda movies where the bad guy has his big army. And then Poe shows up and he's really far away and he's shouting his epic speech, but it's so far away that no one hears. It's just no one hears them. That's what this is. They're just people really far away, hey, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, that's why they communicated with the universal hand sign there.
It's just so ridiculous.
I know when they come down, this video is epic. You're in for a treat. Yeah.
Okay.
This is religiosity at its finest.
Yes. I lied. I watched the first 60 seconds of the video. So I did see when the lady comes down. It is completely disingenuous.
Yeah.
But
you might be harming people. Yeah, bitch, I'm about to harm you.
Beautiful building though. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's your tax dollars at work right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Housing those crazy people.
I'm standing in front of the social work building. I'm harming individuals by asking that question. Well, you want to come down and have a conversation about it?
How about this question? How long have you been a bitch? How's that question feel?
Here's my question. Were you born a bitch or did you learn to be a bitch?
I like it, Sitch. We should go out with our own questions.
Is being bitch biological or is it a social construct?
Yeah. Is bitch made a social construct? Bitch?
Were you bitch made or bitch learned?
That's so good.
Why do you want to come down and have a conversation? Oh. Okay, so what would it take for you
go to class
to move to the strongly agree?
In this man's class, after a long, controversial 10 weeks of lectures, this giant auditorium on the final day.
This is that looks like Bizarro Adam, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
A little short.
That guy's way taller than you. What are you talking about?
No way. What are you talking about?
Okay.
He posed a question to the students. He says, if anybody has disagreed with anything I've said over the last 10 weeks, come down and sit in this chair in a spotlight in the middle of the auditorium. Here's a platform. Tell me to my face. Which I'm glad. I was the only one who walked down and you gave me an A.
Based. Based.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm so curious about.
Is
That's
that
Reed.
Um,
That's
didn't
Reed right
notice.
there. Look.
Look, there he is. Nice.
what's happening?
He's
Reed
got
in the
Tim Pool's beanie on.
Yeah.
All right. He brought his own beanie. I don't have to pull the
His own
beanie out.
baby. How would
Out
he?
here.
Oh, it's a critical thinking game where we take a look at claims.
Wait, I'm sorry. We were talking. I want you to hear
Hi,
this
I'm
woman.
I know.
Curious about.
Stop. I want you to hear this woman-
Stop.
I want you to hear this woman's voice. This is the woman,
she
one of the
said-
women that was shouting at him from the group. Okay.
When he said critical thinking, she heard critical theory and she's like,
Right. But there's like this tone of voice. It's like this fake, saccharine, gross
oh, yeah,
voice tone.
I'm
to my
here.
face.
I'm here to help.
Yeah, it's like, oh God.
Which I'm glad. I was the only one who walked down and you gave me an A.
Excuse me. Hi, I'm so curious about what's happening out here.
I'm so curious. I'm just curious. I'm just asking questions. What's going on? I'm not judging you. I want to know. I'm completely neutral.
She said that in a tone to let us know that she knew exactly what was going on and it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? What is the point of that tone of voice with that question? Is that intentional? Is it unintentional? Does she have no control?
Well, I mean,
It's just out.
that tone of voice, I mean, it's perfect for, when the Nazi soldier shows up on your doorstep and
What's going
you're
on here?
and
Are
you're
any
hiding.
Jews hiding under the
Yeah,
floorboards?
exactly. Is it not? Is
It
this
is.
not the scene where Pagosian has like 10 Jews hiding under his baseboards and she walks up? Oh,
this is-
hello there.
This is the scene from
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards.
Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
This is
Right in
the
the
opening
beginning.
right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome to your nightmare. This is what happens when people have unlimited power at their disposal.
Oh, it's a critical thinking game where we take a look at claims and you step on a line you want to play.
Oh, she says, oh.
Well,
You want to watch the game played?
well, we were watching from up there actually because we happened to see the sign from up in the School of Social Work, which is on the 6th floor, and some of our trans students saw the statement.
Where are the trans students? How come they didn't come down? Where are you
Because,
hiding your
Adam,
human shields?
They need their cis white teacher to shield them because she has the power and privilege. in
I'll
our
bet
society.
you $500. No trans student saw that fucking sign. And
I
she's-
completely disagree with you.
and
I bet
she is
I bet you all of the
lying.
students listen. This is,
Lying.
no, you're wrong. Okay. This is Portland.
Oh yeah,
50% of
you're
the
right.
population is trans.
You're right. They count non-binary. Never mind. No more
Yeah,
bet.
exactly.
That's so funny. She said trans, but she probably meant non-binary.
Yeah. Well, non-binary technically falls under trans, which is the problem, but that's another conversation.
There are only two genders.
Well, thanks for coming down to talk.
It was pretty activating and upsetting not knowing the context. We thought it was sort of a statement that was being made, but not a thought exercise necessarily.
Would you like to see how the game is played?
No.
No, bitch. Get off our campus.
I love that. It's so funny because it's like they just see a sign that says there are two genders.
Right.
And so but see, this is what's so gross. They just see the sign. They don't know anything about what's going on down there. And they just come to all sorts of conclusions. I like how she said it's activating.
Yeah.
She ironically said they saw a sign that said there are only two genders and they activated their almonds. Okay.
Yeah.
It activated their elephants. So they're just like, fuck you.
It's a trigger. It's a
God.
total trigger. That's exactly what happened. They got triggered and came downstairs.
Right. And it's funny because he's like, well, you can agree or disagree, and then we could talk about it. Why are you jumping to these conclusions about anything? It's like, no, you dare question the dogma.
They
speak the language, the words of blasphemy.
They already sized it up and gave him the bird. They already disapproved. Yes. I mean, it's a little late to come in here and say, oh yeah, we didn't know what was going on. Well, then why'd you flip the bird? Well, like why flip the bird if you're in confusion about what is actually going on?
Right.
That's a little weird.
Is it something that should be a game, though?
An exercise? You want to use defund the police as one?
Well, just thinking about what it looks like.
Yeah.
What does it look like
to
see like
community.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white men with a sign that says there's only 2 genders? You could have been like the Westboro Baptist Church for all.
Oh my God.
I know the irony.
I hate these people so much.
Irony, because guess who is the Westboro Baptist Church in this situation?
These people.
These people. Exactly. Exactly.
No, but it's total emotional defense, because it's like, oh, they saw some sign, they jumped to some emotional conclusion because based on their fucking bigotry, right?
Yeah.
They see white males.
Yes.
With a sign, and so because they're bigots, they jump to this conclusion, and then they come down and they're like, oh, they're not making a declarative statement, they're asking a question. But instead of just saying, oh, I was wrong to flick you off on the roof, they just say, oh, well, it's your fault because you didn't take into account how I, a stranger, would view you through being the lens of a bigot.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, like, screw you, buddy. What are you talking about?
You didn't take our feelings into consideration.
I'm not a mind reader. First of all, I don't have to, so go fuck yourself. Secondly, I can't read your mind. I can't read the mind of every student here and be like, let me craft a very careful message that will appeal to every aesthetical quality of every student here.
They just need signs that say trans people hate questions. That's what they need. You know how they have the God hates gay people, the Westboro Baptist? Yeah, they need trans people hate questions. And then they're all set. They can be the Westboro Baptist social vengeance movement.
Yeah, there you go.
What is white? Why did you identify us on the basis of our race?
Well, are you the best people to be hosting that dialogue?
No, but you...
What a bigot. What a bigot. Would you walk up to a black person and say, oh, you want to be a police officer? Do you really think that's the best calling for you? It's like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Fuck off.
And what the fuck does being white have to do with talking about gender?
Yes. No shit.
Nothing.
Do you really think you're the best person to ask that question as a white man?
Right. It's not like they wrote a sign like, I don't know, something about like black crime rates or something.
Dude, this is like white man know your place.
Yes.
This is straight, like, this is the shit they did pull in the 50s and 60s.
Right.
Do you really think you should belong in this malt shop, Mr. Black Man?
Excuse me, white boy. You really think this is a place that you should be?
Yes. It's so, and they have the amazing thing about this video is they have no idea. They're so in their ideological bubble, they have no idea how terrible they look.
You should just be like, listen, first of all, I'm half black, and I'm very offended that you just called me white.
Yeah. No, you should say I'm all black. What are you talking about?
I identify as black.
I'm a light-skinned black man.
Yeah, I identify as black, and I'm very offended that you
racist.
Well, see, but if you just say that, that's like, it's so obviously not true. So you have to say like something that maybe is true, but maybe it's a troll, and they can't really tell. They're like, no, I'm half black.
Shouldn't he just say, I identify as a woman? Why are you calling me a man? You said I was a white man, but I'm a white woman.
Or just say I'm non-binary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so weird because you can't. That will completely disarm them because they'll be, oh my God, did I do something wrong here? They'll completely question themselves, but sooner or later. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I don't want to be on the lying side. These people are liars. These people are total liars. They don't give a fuck about the truth. And I feel like on Team Truth, you got to be truthful. But
That's true. That's true.
the I am a woman thing would disarm them immediately, though.
I don't know. I think if you said I'm a woman, they're just gonna think you're bullshitting.
I don't, but they can't. Their ideology does not permit them to say that you're bullshitting, though, because then immediately they're like, now they're in the right wing position. This is what the right wingers. Now they're Michael Knowles. What?
Well, that would be a fun exercise to say, well, I identify as a woman, and if they question you on it, you just say, because I feel like I'm a woman. How do you define a woman?
Yeah, no.
What does it mean to be a woman? Tell me.
They can't. I'm telling you, it would completely disarm them. They cannot.
Right.
They cannot. That part of their ideology is they cannot question your gender. Your gender is whatever you say it is, and it's unquestionable. They can't. As soon as they go into the questioning, they have to. There's all these different roadblocks for them. Well, what criteria am I going to measure by? Right? And they can't use any of that criteria to call bullshit on you. So it does completely disarm them. But I just think from a principled position on our side, I would know that I'm being dishonest, and therefore.
Yeah, but see, you could find. I bet you, if you look through like the 100 million non-binary things, you could find something that you'd be like, oh, this describes me, I guess, and you could just use that.
Oh, that's a good idea. And then you wouldn't be lying.
Right. You're like, I'm a demi-purge sexual. I'm not.
Right.
I'm non-binary.
What is a person that thinks about sex all the time? I think what is that one? That's going to be my gender.
There you go.
And then I'm just being honest. They have to pull the chart out.
You're a demi-perv.
Demi-perv. I don't like the branding of that, but
you don't like. Okay, what about demi-degenerate?
Demi-degenerate
demi-deg.
Also kind of rubs me the wrong way.
You're a demi-den.
That's not really good.
You're a pan demi-den.
I want it to be more discreet.
Pan demi-den. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay. Should we continue?
No one knows what that means. Yeah, hit it up.
Okay, but I asked you a question. Why did you identify me and these people on the basis of their race?
What it looks like, right? Kind of like the activating, triggering aspect of it all.
So,
what a fucking idiot.
So, because I'm white, I'm offending you? Is that what you're saying? You're saying you're offended by white people?
Yeah. This ideology.
It's you white. What are you talking about?
This ideology makes people stupid.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? I'm afraid of you because you're a white man asking questions.
What a racist.
Do you think that it's morally acceptable to identify people on the basis of their race?
It's not a moral question. It's a matter of like the fact that
it's just about power and privilege. Yeah, and identity and representation, right? So if you had a bunch of queer folks.
See, she's like, I gotta rescue my student who's a fucking moron.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. She said, oh, your mask slipped. Here, let me help you here. Let me put the mask back on you.
It's about power and privilege. Well, what is that? So you're racist, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm not racist. Well, yeah, you just assumed because of my skin color that I have some kind of power and privilege.
This is such the why are you hitting yourself game.
Yeah.
You have all the power here. Why are you hitting yourself in the face?
Right.
Why do you keep punching yourself? You have all the power.
We've come here to drum you off campus, but you have all the power.
Exactly.
Out here asking those kinds of questions, and there was.
Well, how do you know we're not queer?
That's true. I don't know, but there's
Nice.
not sort of a representative, holistic, inclusive feeling, especially from up on high.
Oh, you didn't wear your assless chaps.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't have purple hair, so you're assuming I'm not queer, you bigot?
I know. It just gets worse and worse. You didn't have an inclusive feeling.
We're looking down and we see this statement being made. We're curious about it. We're also just worried about the harm being done to passersby.
What is the harm?
So there are people who went home because it was so triggering and activating.
We had some.
Man, Sitch, I wish I lived in a world where I could go home over stupid shit like this. Can you imagine? I just every single job I've ever had, if I could go to my boss and just say, "Listen, I saw a question outside that made me really uncomfortable, and I would like to take the rest of the week off."
How much of this movement is literally just kids who are just skimping out on school and shit, and they're like, "Oh, I saw this sign and it's just so upsetting that I have to go home. Thank you. Yeah, bye." And then they immediately go home and they go on TikTok and fuck around their phone for the rest of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such bullshit.
You know it's true.
I saw a question. I like that their argument is, we looked at your sign from like a mile away and we couldn't discern your exact intentions from it. So therefore it's your fault.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't jump to conclusions. I mean, isn't that what you should be teaching college students, to not jump to conclusions, to go investigate before they freak out about something?
They saw 5 white men loitering around together and they thought, targets.
No, they thought, oh, bigots,
hunting time.
Yeah, a bunch of white men standing around.
Yeah.
Plotting our downfall.
Let's go take care of business. Let's go chase them off campus.
So I think the end result is
you're on film, right?
That is totally fine.
Okay.
There are real people who are really hurt by this statement. So
what were they hurt about?
Question that. Because that's not how they identify, and so it seems like a really triggering statement to just say there are 2 genders, if that's not been your experience. So it's very harmful and very hurtful, and there's human lives that were affected, so I think that's the message we're trying to send, is to maybe consider the questions that you're asking or posing before you begin your thought experiment.
Full Karen face right there. You can see it.
I know. I couldn't sit there and just take this
full Karen
calmly.
Smirk. Oh, I
Peter
know.
has the patience of a saint.
Everything Peter does is completely wrong in my estimation.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I would say, listen, I understand. You haven't had a date for 6 months. You're very, 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 very lonely. I can see that.
That's the exact wrong thing to say.
Are you sure? I think it would make a better video.
Well, I guess. No, see, what you'd be like is like, listen, do you want to go on a date? I feel like you haven't been on a date for a while, and maybe you're just, you need a release, and you'll feel a little better.
Look, they drew first blood here. Okay, they
drew first blood.
They came out, made a bunch of incendiary assumptions about what was going on, right? What is wrong with me giving back in kind some incendiary assumptions about why they're really there?
The interesting thing is that they view them as drawing first blood by having the sign.
Well, no, not really.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They're saying your sign and your presence is the drawing of first blood. Not us shouting at you and giving you the middle finger.
Right. Is it really first blood, though? I mean, just asking
their perspective,
a question.
Yeah. That's what they're saying.
They're
saying
not,
how dare you even ask the question?
Well, I guess they are saying that. But they're saying it, I mean, none of the trans people came down. I would start asking for names. Listen, I would say, I would like to apologize to this person immediately. Can you give me their name and telephone number I would like to tell me this person. They would say, oh, they don't want to be a part of it. They would fucking hide because they know they're lying their asses off. I would dig so deep into this. I'd be like, listen, you fucking fucked up when you came up and started talking to me, bitch.
Mm.
You don't think that's a good? You don't think that's a good route to go?
No, I think that's a bad idea.
Really? Why?
Yes. Because they're just going to say, "Oh, I'm not going to give you their information."
Right. They're so afraid. So what is a better course of action here, though? Do you think Peter's taking the right course of action?
Well, what's he trying? Yes, because he's trying to be sort of this neutral arbiter, and not be aggressive or offensive whatsoever.
Right. I guess you're right.
Then, yeah.
Completely. I guess you're right.
Old School for $5 says, for all of us who teach at Portland State University, I apologize. I apologize to you, Old School. I feel bad if you teach at this school.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
This is Portland State University? Jeez.
I guess maybe if I was a student there and was paying tuition, maybe I'd speak up. But I guess you'd probably get just yeeted off campus. It'd be like, we don't want your tuition money anymore. You're out of here. Yeah, I guess it's open season on white males. That's so sad.
Yeah, what were they doing on the roof? Well, actually, probably, I don't think they were on the roof. I'm assuming, judging by what they said, they saw through the window. And so they ran up to the roof to shout down at them.
Oh, really?
That's my guess of the order of operations here.
They had to leave. Oh my God, there's people out there.
There's people with
They're
signs.
questioning that I'm non-binary. It took me, I had to be so brave to come out as non-binary.
Texas SP12 for $10. Thank you, Texas. Says, as a Portland representative, I will say that probably 1 in 10 people are trans from my 6 years living there.
Really?
There you go.
So 8 people probably left.
Yeah.
Left school over this. If I threw that one out, she'd probably come back at me and like, oh yes, here they are. Here are their names. This is like 7 names. Here they are.
Yep.
Can you apologize? Can you at them on social media as you apologize?
Why is she holding her drink so high?
Because she's getting ready to throw it in his face.
No, but like, there's like this weird thing I've noticed that is usually, I don't really see guys do this. Guys kind of occasionally do it, but it's just like women who come out and they bitch at you and they like hold a drink and it's like, but they hold it in like this really like I am the queen. It's just a weird, like a thing I notice from like Karens.
The
They
chalice.
just hold their drink in this very specific way. And it's like, why? Just, what are you doing? What's
What
happening
is this? I don't think I ever hold my hands like this. What is this
Oh,
like?
what the woman on the left is doing? She's
Yes.
like, it's like the, well, it's funny because she's actually making the happy merchant like hand thing.
Is that what it is?
But no, I think
she's calling them
what it
Jewish
is
at
is
the
it's
same
like
time?
she's nervous and uncomfortable, and it's
Yeah.
just sort of like this very protective body language.
She just told like 6 lies in a row. Of course she's
Exactly.
nervous.
So she's
Yeah.
like, she's like she's literally hug boxing herself. Okay. She's
I
holding-
I don't like to lie, and I can't imagine lying in front of like 8-10 people here. This is like the public square that she's lying in.
I mean, if you want to look at like the body language here, like, look, Peter's there. He's got like completely open Chad, body figure. He's got both arms down. A hand,
Right.
I think he's a hand in his pocket or something. Just kind of like looking straight at her. They're both averting their gaze. One's holding the drink like she's queen. One's got her, holding her hands.
Yeah. Ugh.
Are you curious about like what we're bringing to you at all, or do you have?
I'm thinking about, I'm extremely curious and I'm extremely respectful. I genuinely respect the fact that you came as opposed to 7 or 8 of you giving me the middle finger and saying, fuck you to me. So yeah, so.
See, that's the thing though. When Peter does say fuck you, you can tell he's actually saying fuck you to them. He says it in a way where he pauses long enough that you can tell he's really giving them a fuck you.
I don't think that's what's going on.
He's like, I feel better you coming down and talking to me than telling me, fuck you. That's exactly how he said it.
Maybe I'm not. I wouldn't.
Look, he does it multiple times too. You can tell he's getting off on it. The pause before the fuck you is just a little too long.
Right. Okay.
So
what do you gain from this? Like, what is your reason that you just want to cause trouble, or like why are you here?
So
this is so out of the 1950s. Like I could see this in a movie. Like the black guy is sitting in the malt shop and the cop shows up. You just want to cause trouble here? Is that what you're doing here? You just hear like,
what are you doing in this coffee shop? You want to cause trouble?
You just here to cause trouble? Is that what you're doing?
There's a nice coffee shop for colored folks down the road. Why you gotta come to our white coffee shop?
I can guarantee you, the cop that arrested Rosa Parks, the first words out of his mouth was, "You just causing trouble here?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do? Just causing some trouble?" It's so they have no concept of how they are the bad guys. You guys are fucking evil. You think that you're standing up for trans people. You're not standing up for anyone. You're on some power trip. Oh man, I'm legitimately getting triggered here, Sitch.
I can tell.
It's so evil. How's it not evil?
It's pretty evil.
How do these people not know? Listen, you've seen Inglourious Bastards. The Nazi officer that shows up to find the Jews under the floorboard. He's fucking loving it.
Mm-hmm.
He's on a power trip.
Yep.
These people are power trippers. They are. And I feel sad because I feel like they have no real power in their normal lives. So this is how they, get their jollies.
This is their version of kicking the dog.
It is. It is. They go to work. I got kicked all day. Oh, my white male boss, giving me orders all day long. Let me go kick some white males, pretend they're my boss. Yeah, it's bullshit. They need love. Ladies, you need love in your hearts, okay? Forgiveness. I know your religion doesn't embrace forgiveness. Find one that does. Find a good one that does.
So, I'm fascinated. I do street epistemology. And I'm fascinated if the people, epistemology is from the Greek, basically how you know what you think. Okay. So street epistemology is taking it out of the university and bringing it into the street. So I'm very curious. Okay, a sidewalk or a...
this is like 20-year-old.
This isn't street epistemology.
What did she say?
This isn't street epistemology. This isn't a street. This is a campus. This person is educating human beings.
I know. So it's just normal epistemology then, because it's literally in a college campus.
Yes. So let's just call it college square epistemology. What the? How do these people remember to breathe?
I wonder if someone says something that's stupid, you should just look at them and then turn and just keep talking to the other person. Like,
that is a good move. That's a great move.
Okay.
Oh, look, she's going even farther with the happy merchant hands there.
Oh my God.
Okay, if you don't like the
what's she doing there?
I don't know.
Word street, you can call it plaza epistemology, whatever. But the idea is you take it out of the university and you see if the reasons that people have for things justify their confidence in it. So this is a confidence scale. We can do this with any claim you want. We can do this with a mayor of the city. We can do this with should the United States be funding Ukraine? I think it's $800 billion. Should the United States, is it more important to control inflation or employment? And we put people on a spectrum. They start on, let me just explain it. So you asked, so I'll tell you. So what am I going to do?
I think what we're just saying is, and I think those questions are thought-provoking and important questions to ask folks in our community. I think what we were struck by was the statement on the board that it wasn't a question and that there was no context clues for folks, especially trans folks, to know that this was not your belief, but this is more of a thought experiment.
Okay.
See, I would walk over. I'd be so triggered. I'd walk over to the board and I'd change the question to, are trans people real?
No, you change it to, are trannies real?
No.
If you want to be like a real troll.
Oh God.
No, but my answer to this
you
is
would be in handcuffs.
I know. My answer would be, well, I mean, you come down and you explore to see what it is. I mean, it's an important life lesson. And this is what I would bring up. It's an important life lesson to not just look at something and have such a strong emotional reaction that you let it controls you.
Yeah.
Without even knowing what the thing is.
Yeah.
That's what free will is. It's being exposed to something and saying, I'm not going to just let my initial elephant's brain take control, my emotions take control of me. Let me actually put that on pause. Let me press pause on my elephant. Let me explore what this thing is to find out about it before I go rampaging.
Yeah. No, that's good advice. I like that she almost came right out and said, we know what's going on here.
Right.
And totally blew the ruse that they don't know what's going on there.
Would you be more comfortable if it was a question? Like if I put a question mark?
Sure.
Okay, I'm more than happy to put a question at the end.
It's a question and not a statement.
More than happy to.
Some type of warning or a statement of like what you're doing on another board so people can walk by and like try and understand that. Because from afar it looks...
This is
he wants another board. We love trans people. But are they real?
This is why, you know, like the meme where it's like leftist meme and it's like 10 paragraphs of tiny text. This is why it's like, can you have like 10 extra boards that say, please, before you approach the sign, remember, trigger warning. This is a thought experiment. I am not taking a definitive stance in this. You know,
God, we should.
He needs like
man.
a billboard explaining this behind him.
Oh God, this is so. That would be so good. We should have the like intro with student walking, and there'd be like one sign, trigger warning, and then another one. No, seriously, trigger warning. Like white guys ahead. No trigger warning. There's 5 of them.
It would be funny if he did that, but it's like there's so much in it that it's so tiny.
Right. It's completely illegible. No, but it says it right here. Look.
He's like, but I did what you wanted. It's all there.
Yeah.
A thought experiment.
Yeah. This is what we're asking people.
I'm more than happy to do that.
And then that way it can kind of.
I'm more than happy to do that. I only have one board, but I'm more than happy to put on this is a thought experiment and put a question mark. If I put a question mark, I could. I don't know. I'm worried that people wouldn't be able to see it, but I'm more than happy to. If I put a question mark at the end and then I put another one. It's not really, it is a thought experiment, but it's more of an exercise / game starts thought experiment. If I put that on the end, would all of the concern vaporize?
No, probably not, because we're talking about real humans with their lived experience and their positionality, their identities, you know, and sort of, I might have a very different personal feeling walking by because it doesn't target my identity specifically. So we're just sort of here to sort of advocate and elevate who might be harmed by a statement like
What do you mean by...
Bitch, you targeted his identity when you walked up and called him a white man.
I know.
You're like targeting his identity.
By harmed?
Harmed?
Yeah.
Well, people who have been like historically and currently oppressed, right, by dominant systems, patriarchy, whiteness, masculinity, all of the systems that harm people who don't fit within those sort of more rigid.
That's why you want a question and not a statement.
Can I also ask, like,
Now, I just want an answer. That's why you want a question, not a statement?
I think a question is an invitation, right?
More than happy to make it a question.
Participate in this conversation. It's
more than happy to do that.
You know, you're representing, you know, with your identity, a belief, perhaps especially when it's a statement. And so what it looks like is you're out here saying there are 2 genders. And then anyone who doesn't fall within those 2 sort of binary boxes.
I'm more than happy to do that.
That's where the harm comes from.
More than happy to say this is a thought experiment. No, let me just finish. More than happy to do that. But it seems that if I did that, that would not be enough.
You might have.
But then I
might not.
He's trying to individuate the person because that's like a key to diffusing mob mentality. You know that. Yeah. He's doing a great job of that.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
He's also very much, you know, trying to make them feel as though they're winning too, which is another thing that they can do.
He's kind of not though, because
he is giving them a concession. He's giving them a concession, and theoretically, you're supposed to reciprocate. Law of reciprocation.
I don't think that's what's happening here. That's not how I interpret it. It's like a backhanded concession, because he's like, yeah, I'll concede, but this doesn't seem to. Even if I do this, you just admitted that it won't change your opinion at all. So there's some other issue going on here.
Well, yeah, he's trying to milk it though.
Right, but they sense that. They sense that they're walking into a trap by asking these questions. And by just focusing on one person, because like the way these group conversations can work is that, like, if you have a large group of people or multiple people talking, they can gish gallop you because each person will say a different thing.
Right.
And so if you just say, well, let me just focus on what this one person is saying, they actually have to follow the train of logic.
Right. That girl who asked in the back was chapped that he wouldn't talk to her.
I know.
She was so upset. I love that part.
Be the person to, you know, again, I think asking folks who hold those identities, sort of, if that is enough. So asking queer students, asking trans students, asking gay students, if you're asking about race or poverty or religion, or people who are part of those groups can really inform you better than I can.
You wanted to say, I wanted to hear her through.
No, I get it. And I'm just wondering, like, are any of you all like trained professionals in trauma-informed care? Like, if a transgender individual were to come to the space and participate, and then there was a triggering response where they needed emotional support, like, are you ready to support that? Because this conversation can bring up a lot of emotions, and the people that are kind of working within it could be really triggered. But if no one's there as like an advocate or support, it could be pretty detrimental to the community you're asking. So I just want to like frame that. If you're not having like an advocate there as someone that can like be an emotional support or regulation for the people that are potentially harmed or triggered in this conversation, whether they're participating or not, like that's a potential thing to think about and could be a flaw in the system.
Well, actually, I am a professional. Look, I got a bowl right in my pocket here. I've got some weed. I can say, listen, just smoke a bowl with me and chill.
Someone's like, I'm a licensed psychologist. So,
I mean, what
yes.
do you, what's the emotional CPR that you give to somebody? How do you pull that out?
You're right. You pull out the weed and you say,
Yeah.
I have exactly what you need.
You're like, just pull out your joint. Here you go, buddy. Blaze up with me. It'll be cool. We'll get through this together.
Because you need to have someone to be able to support that emotionally, mentally, and for people's trauma. So if you're not, it's kind of like these people might leave and feel like without any support or any understanding of what they just went through. So
yeah,
just to think that.
And we know people who are in the gender minority experience higher rates of suicidal ideation, higher rates of anxiety and depression. And
now fully he caused somebody to commit suicide. That's where they're going with this.
Someone's gonna commit suicide because of this question.
This is so evil.
It
This is so evil. They've so improved on the "you're gonna burn in hell after you die" argument. This is like someone is gonna go home and kill themselves today. Right. This isn't some far off distant thing, man. And you're responsible. You're a murderer.
And like they're seeing messages like this all throughout their lives. And so campus is supposed to be a safe space where everyone can exist freely in their own identities and who they are and be learning and be talking about these really, really important things within our culture and society. Yeah. And by walking through this community, remember that we care about that should be in class today, learning about how to take care of their community and how to support marginalized individuals like themselves and others can't participate today because they saw that message. Yeah. And that's what we mean by harm. Yeah. And honestly, I don't even think adding a question mark is enough.
That's on them, though. This is so fucking stupid. It's like, listen, this is the problem, okay? Life is not bubble wrapped. You got to learn how to face these things, okay? You can't just run away from them. You can't function in life if you're just going to run away from all these problems.
How dare you?
That's part of what college is supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
No, I'm committing suicide. Shut up.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be like, oh, you're a semi-adult, you need to interact with the world as if you are an adult. You have to deal with problems on your own, figure shit out on your own. It's not like, oh, I saw some words on a board and I just was so offended that I had to run away. It's like, well, then you're failing at college and you're failing at being a teacher if this is your student.
How about this? I'm trying to get some good ideas in case I'm ever in one of these situations here. Mm-hmm. You're shooting everything fun I want to do. You're already shooting down. I got Peter's demoralized look here. How about this? I look to the crowd and I say, "Is anyone here suicidal?"
Then he raises his hand. It's like, this conversation is making me suicidal.
There you go. There you go. We hit on it.
There you go.
Listen, okay, so we do add them up with some makeup. So it looks like I have huge risk scars, like from trying to kill myself a bunch of times. I ask, is anyone here suicidal? And then I start rolling up my wrists. Look at here. I've tried to kill myself 6 times. Okay. Let me ask the goddamn question.
You'll be like, we'll have a plant.
Uh-huh.
Who says, I'm suicidal. And it's not because I'm trans. It's because I was bullied for not being trans.
Oh, that's so good. Oh,
see how they
that's
react
so
to that.
good. That's so good. Yes. My 2 moms swore that I was a girl. Oh yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
I think it should be more of what is your perspective on gender identity? Because then you're opening up the question, or gender in general, right? Because we know that it's not just about identity, it's about who that person is. And by really framing it in the binary, that's where there's harm.
Can I put in like my 2 cents as a non-binary person?
No.
You found.
Fuck you.
Here it comes. The one
like-
non-binary person that didn't leave campus.
Look at that. That's like the cissest, whitest fucking girl fucking on the planet. Okay.
Sitch. She's non-binary. Okay,
Hey, you're
please.
non-binary. Fuck off.
I mean,
Get out of here.
they are non-binary.
Cool. I'm gender non-conforming. I use they them pronouns.
Oh
Do
my
you know what
God.
that means?
Fuck off.
We already misgendered. Damn it.
I'm calling her.
I believe so, yes.
Bullshit.
Are you aware of like the theory of social constructionism?
Yes.
He's a fucking philosophy teacher.
Are you aware of the theory of social construction?
He's a fucking philosophy.
Are you? That's the question.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
This
is
would be
amazing.
funny because you'd be like, yeah, here's the question you ask. You say, when you say gender is a social construct, is it a weak social construct or a strong social
I
construct?
know.
And then when they can't answer that, you're like, oh, I guess you don't know what you're talking about.
Peter almost cracked there. He almost broke character.
Yes.
He almost did. He's like, I've been teaching on this campus for 4 years.
Oh, is this where he teaches?
He used to teach it at Portland State, yeah.
Oh,
But
I
I
didn't
think
know
he
that.
lost
That's
his
funny.
job over the SoCal
Oh, that's awful.
papers, yeah. Now he's a free agent.
Right.
So
I'm a gender studies scholar.
Yeah. So I'm much younger than
Nice.
you. These are all, this is all very new. I understand. Like my parents are boomers. They're in their 60s. They've had a really hard time understanding.
She just called him he's like, I'm literally a gender study scholar. And she's like, well, you're old, so you're a boomer, so you don't know what you're talking about. I, as some fucking pissant student, know more about the subject than you do.
She said her parents were boomers and that they didn't understand.
That's
but
the implication.
It is
though,
totally
obviously.
the
It's
implication.
the implication.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck you, bitch.
I mean, we understand. The whole thing is, I mean, you're making wild claims here that you got no proof for. So,
Well, he could say, are you ageist? You just assumed knowledge based on my age. That's very discriminatory.
he could, yeah.
So I've had to talk to a lot of people in your generation. So you're aware of social constructionism. You're aware of gender as a social construct. When you say there are only 2 genders, those 2 genders are just social constructs that we made up. From birth, you were assigned a male at birth because you have a penis, I'm assuming. You present as male. Do you identify as male?
Are you asking if I identify as male?
Your gender.
I identify as male.
Because you
He
were
thought about it. He totally thought about it. He thought he was going to do. He's like, should I do the female thing or what? Nah.
No, but
I'll just
this
stick with
girl,
it.
this is exactly what I'm talking when I say first year college student, criticism. It's like this girl thinks she's so smart, and this is we all know, we've all heard this a million times. This is so basic.
How do you say this? Would it be this non-binary? Is that what you would say instead of this girl? Is that?
I don't. This them, this them. I don't fucking.
This
I
is
don't
an
care.
assault
I don't
on
respect
the-
this person's pronouns.
This is an assault on the human language. Not only that, I get a real Jehovah's Witness vibe here from the Jehovah's Witness on my doorstep. You don't understand.
I would rather talk to Jehovah's Witness about this because
Oh.
they go away.
I have
Okay?
way
You're like,
more.
oh, I'm not interested. Thank you. And
I have
they
way
go
more
away.
respect for Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, I think a Jehovah's Witness would be there for you in a pinch. This person is not gonna. This person is not gonna pull over when they see you on the side of the road because your car has been incapacitated by some other driver.
By a woman who drove you out the road.
Yeah, this person is not gonna be. That's the thing. I was in a shitty neighborhood and like 3 or 4 people stopped and asked if I needed help.
That's nice.
This person is not going to be one of those people.
Well,
Yeah.
she saw that you were a white male, and she's like, "Well, he's got lots of power and privilege, so he doesn't need my help."
Probably. I mean, some of the people that pulled over were just in completely shitty cars. Yeah. I was
that's
super.
nice.
I was like, thank you. Fucking thank you.
assigned a male at birth. Are you cis?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure where you're going with this. I'm trying to understand where you're going.
That the idea of there being only two genders is a social construct because we have this idea of being assigned female at birth.
Just play the game.
This is so cringe.
Just play the game. Get on the line. You're making all these weird assertions, but you don't want to play the game because you know you got nothing to back it up with.
Yep.
Male at birth. Now, I'm non-binary. That's something that I have learned about myself over the last 6-7 years. After as a teenager, I learned about sociology. I learned about gender as a social construct. And I realized that I don't fit into the box of just a cis woman. Okay, my gender is completely...
See, she just proved my fucking point. All these people on Twitter whining at me. Non-binary gender Sitch doesn't reinforce gender stereotypes. That's literally what she said. She said, I identified as a cis lady. And then I went to college and they're like, oh, gender is a social construct. Do you not fit in these gender stereotypes? Then you're not a woman. She literally that's her experience.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
And evil. Completely evil.
And evil, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever I feel like in the moment. I'm not just one solid thing. Sexuality, gender, these are all social constructs that we've created within our society, our binary society, where we've decided there's only male or female. So many people don't fit into that. And like, why do you feel like you're a man? Because you've been socialized to believe these things are associated with being a man. These things are associated with being a woman. There's only two boxes. But you don't have to conform to that. That's just what society has told you from birth. Someone said, a doctor said, this person has a penis. I'm going to assume that they have to be a man and fit into this box their whole life. But why? That's just...
I would love to hear other voices if you wanted to say something. Do you feel that this is a debate?
That's your response? When you say, I want to hear from everyone else.
No, I do want to. No, I listened and I'm processing. Would you like me to engage her?
I want to hear
You want to hear from him?
Actually, no, I want to hear from her.
It's so funny.
Do you have anything to say? I just want to make sure. So this is what I want. I don't want the reason that I.
Oh, look. She's wandering off. She's escaping. She's like, oh, we're not going to win this one.
Yeah.
He's not getting on his knees like the other people did. Yeah, I don't get it. Why is he standing up to us? Normally people just bend over.
I'm more than happy to engage you. The reason that I said that is you have how many people here? 15, I'm guessing. No, but let me finish. The reason I said that is because I don't want you to walk away and someone to say, you didn't give me a chance to talk. So I didn't give her a chance to talk before, but that's only because I was listening to what you were going to say. And I realized that the classes here aren't a lot of time. And the reason that I switched from what she had, and I'm more than happy to listen to her, is because I don't want people.
Sorry, they just told you their pronouns and their lived experience.
Okay, then okay, so instead of getting.
Oh, he misgendered her.
Okay, so this individual just told me that, and I'm trying to be reasonable, and I think it's better to have a conversation than for you guys.
That's the whole point. The whole point is it's a game. It's a total game to them.
It is.
You fucked up. This person that just told you their pronouns 1 second ago, and you didn't commit it to memory because you're like, I'm never going to talk to this person again. They're insane. Why would I ever talk to this person again? They just gave me some complete spiel that's complete nonsense that they learned in school. You're literally going to have to pay. You know, you're going to be paying on your student loan until you're 35.
Well,
to learn this shit.
Worse than that is that it's boring.
Oh, totally.
It's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, we've all heard this shit a million times.
We
Okay,
know.
Tell me something new.
We know your religion. We know your religion inside and out.
Give me not the NPC talking points.
Oh, it's so sad.
To give me the finger and yell "fuck you." So you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
It's already been you.
Aren't you the guys that made up a bunch of academic data
to address that she did, like just address you.
Yo, what was that guy yelling?
He realized who he was.
What did he say?
And he said, "Aren't you the guy that submitted a bunch of information to academic journals?
Okay,
made
he
up
called him
data."
out. He figured
But then
it
he
out.
just walks away. It was so weird. He just yells it and then walks away. Like that was bizarre.
This is the guy. This is the hater. He's trying to incite a mob. He's like, I want, let's get the rope. This guy's got it coming.
You just called this person a
Okay.
and they just told you their gender was
Okay, well, I apologize and I say they.
That's the harm being done. That we
Look, she gives him the thumbs up. No harm.
That guy literally shouted that and then walked away. Like, that's the most beta move I've ever seen.
Right, yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
were talking about.
Do you accept my apology? Okay.
It's the generation. It's a generational, education. If you
Okay. So.
and want to change and learn, that's great. I love that, and I accept your apology.
Thank you.
So isn't it better to have a conversation about this than to scream at someone from the rooftop?
Oh, I don't know who. I certainly didn't scream at you from the rooftop. Did any of you guys scream?
Yeah.
So you guys were screaming and yelling "fuck you" to me and giving me the finger.
We were just saying, please go away. You're not welcome.
No, I said fuck you.
I said that.
Okay. Okay. So.
Can I just?
In a conversation.
My goal is to disrupt this.
No.
I don't want any more harm to
So.
He said, my goal is to disrupt this. I don't want any more harm to be done.
You're causing too much harm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand that you believe I can't remember where that over there she moved, but I understand that you believe this stuff, and we live in a democracy, and other people don't have those beliefs, and I want to ask people if the reasons they have for their beliefs are justified, and this is that experiment.
Your thought experiment. We actually have to go. We're not part of the thought experiment. We're all social workers, and we saw this harm being done, and we just wanted to come here with curiosity. And also,
why do they have so many social workers on? Is it really a lot of trauma to be dealt with? I mean, what are the social workers dealing with?
No, what she means is they're all fucking sociology students, okay?
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Or teachers.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
So is this like when some asshole's like, the police need to have social workers show up whenever they go respond to disputes? Is this fucking, are these idiots going to be there? Is that what they mean when they say social work?
I mean, that sign says Academic and Student Recreation Center. Recreation is to kick back.
Yeah, I don't know. This is academic though. I don't know what's going on there, but
okay.
See, that's going to be the real red pill moment for some of these people. Like, I you know what? I'm 100% on board. I think every police officer should have one of these fucking annoying, woke, Karen social workers
in the car.
Tag along with them.
Yeah, no crime would ever be committed again.
Yes, and try to use their bullshit spiel to someone who's like drugged out or committing a crime or something, and just see how it just blows up in their face again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah. This is just, these people they don't understand. They don't have a good grasp of what's going on. They're just playing power games.
some information.
And do you feel that you've spoken? Do you feel that if anybody else has something to say that you haven't had an opportunity to speak?
Do you feel like you've learned anything or taken?
But that doesn't answer my question. I just asked if anybody else would like to speak.
Tell me, Sitch, you'd answer the did you learn anything question.
I've learned. I wish I could say I have, but unfortunately.
No, I mean, if he asked you have you learned anything question, what would your best shot be?
I'd say I wish I had.
I mean,
I've heard all these talking points before.
You did learn how stupid these people are, didn't you?
That I come with that base assumption though. You don't understand.
Right. I did learn how stupid and incoherent all of your beliefs are, and how you're all a bunch of beta cucks that are not willing to stand on the line and play the game. I did learn that. Yeah, I did learn how you're a big talker when you're up on the roof from 2 stories away, but when you come down here, you can't even play a little game. Come on. You got to bully him into playing the game, Sitch. Get that guy on a line. Defend your position.
Put on the hat, Timmy.
Defend your position.
That's right.
Listen, this is when I'm rolling up the sleeves. Listen, I've tried to kill myself 8 times.
Oh my God.
I've bled out everywhere. In the street, in the car, in the kitchen. Come on, I'm hanging on a thread here. Get on that line. You want me to kill myself right here?
If you'd like to speak, I'm standing here. Okay.
Wrap up, but I think to Joel's point, we hope that this was informative and helpful, and sorry if saying fuck you hurt your feelings. And
Thank you.
No, it didn't hurt my feelings.
But I'm glad, because our student who was hurt, we're worried about them, and potentially many others, and so that's why we came down to talk to you, just because we have a personal connection.
Well, I'm glad. Isn't it better to have a conversation with someone than to?
Yes.
I mean, isn't that what the whole enterprise should be about?
It's not safe for everybody to have that conversation.
Sometimes it's hard to just have a simple
not safe.
conversation.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing it like every fucking day of your life.
Yeah.
This is something we're fighting for and advocating for. This is our job and what we care about, what
job.
we're passionate about. So sometimes it's hard to keep all those emotions in when we see someone that we care about.
I mean, I do empathize in that they are dealing with it every day of their life because they've adopted this super strange religion that nobody accepts, and they know it. They know it deep down.
I don't have it. That's your choice. Fuck you. You don't get any sympathy for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Scientologists have to deal with that all the time. You think they like telling people, "Oh, by the way, I'm a Scientologist."
I feel I've seen 2 very good documentaries by Louis Theroux on the Westboro Church.
Oh, really?
Yes. And it makes you feel really sad for the children.
Oh, I know. I can imagine. Yeah.
Because basically the way it worked, I mean, I don't know how it works now, because almost everyone in the Westboro Church, they get to a certain age and then they leave because they realize it's like this is
bullshit. Yeah.
And toxic. Yeah. Because it started off, it's just one big family. It's not like a congregation. It's like they're all literally related to each other. And it makes it really sad because they literally only let the children engage in play activities if it's under the guise of hating gay people.
Whoa, wow.
So like they don't let the girls listen to music. It's mostly girls too. I guess it's just this weird. Like I guess whoever the genes of the family, it's like almost all women. But they don't let the young girls listen to music or do any young girl activities. So the only way that they can dance and listen to music is if they take popular music that exists and then rewrite the words to be like anti-gay. So they were taking like Lady Gaga and Beyonce songs and making them like anti-gay songs.
Wow.
And they're like so excited to show Louis like their song and their dance, but it's so clear that they're just excited to sing and dance.
Right.
And they just have to use the bigotry as like the frame to be allowed to do it.
Right. Yeah,
and I feel bad for those people, but I don't feel bad for the adults.
Yeah, these people are going through the same thing. They're completely ideologically captured, and they don't realize it.
No.
They're living in the religion, and they're so offended that somebody is out there questioning their religion to their face and not backing down. It's so offensive to him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you hear what we said? People could die. I mean, it's the same thing. The burn in hell is a powerful motivator. They've stepped it up a bit.
Right.
I mean, in our modern society, you can't tell these people, "Oh, you're going to burn in hell if you don't erase your sign and go home."
You're going to get canceled in hell.
But they can tell them, "Oh, if you don't erase your sign and go home, someone might kill themselves tomorrow, and that'll be on your conscience." That's never.
It's on your conscience for making them so weak.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they would. This is the thing. This is why it's so sickening, because this woman here, if someone did kill themselves, that she would be dying to call Peter and tell him, "Oh, guess what happened? Guess what you did?" She would take zero responsibility for it at all. It wouldn't be her. Like the person that she interacted with every single day, she would be like, "No, it wasn't me that made her so fragile and weak that she went home and killed herself. It was you for showing up on campus
with your sign asking questions."
Right. Yeah. When it would be her fault because she made her so weak and feckless that, who doesn't, if I had a friend that was seriously emotionally distraught over this, and I could see that they were emotionally distraught, I would break in. I would say, "Why are you letting that guy get under your skin? Why? That's not a good way to be." Gotta be courageous in life. You do.
True.
Courage is in short supply these days. You got to muster it up yourself.
Yep.
When the feminists come after you, got to say, "Listen, fat bimbo." All right, let's finish this video. Let's finish this video.
You say, listen. You're gonna say, listen, Dumbo.
Exactly.
Listen, Blimpy.
And do you think that the best way for people to understand, what is the best way for people to understand your point of view?
This right now, showing up.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, advocating.
Advocating for the people that may feel like they don't have a voice.
Okay, so the people who watch this, because this is being videoed, do you think that the people who watch this, who don't agree with you, as a result of having watched this, will then agree with you?
I'm not asking them to agree with me.
But don't you want to facilitate social change?
I'm asking you to have a different perspective to
That's a good
understand
question.
where we're coming from, because we came down here to try and understand where you're coming from.
Oh, that's such bullshit. That's such bullshit. I think he calls her out on that.
Did you?
I don't think that anyone
Did you really though?
to decide if this
Okay, but you have to please be honest with me. Is that really why you came down, to understand?
Oh yeah, yes.
We were very.
Okay, and what is your understanding of why I'm doing this?
Let's care about how you're.
It's the impact.
What I'm sorry, what I haven't heard from you. What is it?
It's not.
I just want to tell you, we don't care about your thought experiment. We care about the impact that it's having on.
Okay, so you didn't come down to understand why I'm doing this then.
We came down here to tell you like what you're doing is harming others.
Right, so you didn't come down to understand. That's why I asked you to please be honest.
I truly do want to understand why this even
Just
exists.
because we didn't want to know how your game works doesn't mean we weren't coming down here to say.
So what is it that you understand for why I'm doing this? If you said you came down to understand why am I doing this? No, but this is, you've made a claim. You've made a claim. Right. This is what?
Maybe you'll watch the video and have some.
What do you think the result of people watching this video will going to be?
What is your intent? What is the impact it's having?
That's all we're
What
asking.
harm is being done?
And then the gaggle just like they all squawk away.
Get a little bit of pushback. And they go, oh, time to leave. We got
Time to
classes,
leave.
sorry.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Taking off. Gotta get out of here. Gotta escape. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you stand up to us?
How dare you?
So any closing thoughts before we move on to a new topic?
That's quite the video.
Was that fun? Is this I mean, this can't last in the real world. It's lasted longer than I ever expected it to last, though.
It has. It has. That's what's sad and scary about it. But I don't think it can last forever.
Right.
Because you are going to have those social workers are going to get jobs and they are going to have to talk. Only so many people can get jobs teaching diversity to corporations.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting point that you make, because I don't know. We talked a little bit about DeSantis's move in cutting Disney's tax cuts when they waded into the Don't Say Gay bill controversy, which is kind of related to this. It's the same cult. And I saw Christopher Rufo tweeted out something about another company, I think it was State Farm, saying that they are telling their employees, they sent out some memo to their employees saying, we're not talking about politics in the office anymore. Save it for home. Like,
smart.
Basically, we're not taking positions on these
right.
on these stances. They were trying to get them to take some position, I think, on the abortion bill or something like that. And if that happens, if corporate America starts realizing, okay, this is hurting our bottom line, we need to fire these diversity people and take our company back, then these people won't have jobs to go to.
Yeah, that's very true. And not just State Farm, but Netflix came out and basically said, listen, Netflix believes in freedom of speech. We believe on putting edgy humor on our platform. If you have a problem with that, find a new job.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was very based of Netflix to say that.
So, I mean, hopefully all these people are unemployed for a long time. A long fucking time. Okay.
What's going to happen to all these people when they have no jobs? They're just useless drains on society.
UBI. All right. We have Coyote Doge, I think, in about 15 minutes. So, all right. Cut it. Wrap it. CT. Put it in a bow for us. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.